Chosen one, this message didn't find you by accident. God led you here for a reason. You've been in a season of waiting, wondering why doors have closed, why certain opportunities slipped away, and why the place that once felt right now feels uncomfortable. It's not because you failed, it's because you've outgrown where you are. The atmosphere that once served your purpose no longer fits your new anointing. What you're feeling right now is the pull of divine relocation, a heavenly rearrangement where God shifts you from one environment to another, from obscurity to visibility, from struggle to stability. The tables are turning, and when they do, everything about your life will change: your surroundings, your connections, your resources, and your reach. Before we dive deep, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because this message isn't just content. It's divine confirmation for the chosen ones. And a heartfelt thank you to everyone supporting through Super Thanks. God bless you richly. Your faith, your consistency, and your spirit of alignment do not go unnoticed. To all who continue to watch, listen, and grow with these messages, I'm truly grateful for your presence on this journey. If your spirit feels this frequency, type 77 in the comments right now. That number isn't random. It's a sacred signal to the Most High and the universe that you're ready to receive the divine relocation, the shift in atmosphere, and the supernatural positioning that heaven has already written into your destiny. Not everyone will make it to the end of this message, only those who are spiritually aligned to move with divine timing. Those who stay will gain clarity, confirmation, and prophetic insight about the next phase of your journey. This isn't just a word you hear once and forget. This is a living revelation, a blueprint of divine transition unfolding piece by piece. Watch it again whenever your spirit leads you, because each time, another layer of understanding will rise to the surface, confirming that the tables are truly turning and you're being relocated by divine favor. Let's begin. Chapter 1. When the old place can't hold you anymore. Chosen one, there comes a point in your journey when the space that once sustained you starts to suffocate you. The room that once felt right now feels too small for your spirit. The conversations that once inspired you begin to sound empty. The people you used to align with now seem distant, foreign, or even resistant to your growth. You begin to feel disconnected, restless, and unsettled, and you can't quite explain why. That's not confusion. That's divine discontent. When God is about to elevate you, He first disturbs your comfort. He removes the sense of ease from environments that can no longer support your next level. It's His gentle yet powerful way of saying, you can't stay here anymore. What once fed your spirit will begin to drain it, not because it's evil, but because it's expired. The grace that once covered that chapter has lifted, and now heaven is urging you to move forward. You might feel the shift through tension with people you once flowed with easily. You might notice sudden changes, doors closing, opportunities drying up, or relationships fading without warning. Don't fight it. These are not signs of failure. They are signals of transition. The environment is rejecting you because your frequency has changed. You are no longer vibrating at the same spiritual wavelength as that space. Chosen one, this is the sign that your season in that place has been completed. You've learned what you needed to learn there. You've poured out all the energy meant for that assignment. Now God is calling you higher, and higher dimensions require lighter baggage. You can't carry old attachments into new atmospheres. That's why you've been feeling misunderstood lately. It's not that you've changed for the worse. It's that you've outgrown the atmosphere. Like a plant whose roots have filled its pot, you've reached the limit of what that soil can offer. You can't expand where there's no more room to grow. The discomfort you feel is not punishment. It's the pressure of new potential, trying to break through the old boundaries. And yes, it hurts. Leaving what's familiar always does. You may cry. You may question. You may even resist. But deep down your spirit knows this truth. You can't stay where you no longer fit. The old place cannot contain the new version of you. The people, routines, and systems that once embraced you Now sense your transformation. And the friction you feel is heaven's reminder that your wings are ready. Every great calling begins with separation. Abraham had to leave his homeland. Joseph had to leave his family. Even Jesus had to withdraw from the crowds to realign with his purpose. Isolation is often the invitation to elevation. You are not being abandoned. You are being advanced. So when everything around you starts feeling unfamiliar or uncomfortable, don't panic. Recognize it as the signal that your divine relocation is near. God is moving you from the known into the destined. And while it may feel like loss at first, you'll soon realize it's not loss, it's launch. The old place served its purpose, but it can no longer hold what you're becoming. You've outgrown the atmosphere, outlived the assignment, and outshined the version of yourself that was once content there. Now heaven is opening new doors, orchestrating divine connections, and calling your spirit toward the land of your next becoming. Chapter 2. God is redirecting your steps, not rejecting your efforts. Chosen one, there will be moments when everything you've worked for seems to crumble before your eyes. Plans that once felt secure fall apart. Opportunities you prayed for never materialize. People you thought would walk with you disappear without explanation. In those moments, it's easy to believe you failed, or worse, that heaven has forgotten you. But hear this truth clearly. God is not rejecting your efforts. He's redirecting your steps. Rejection is often redirection in disguise. What looks like a setback is really a course correction. The doors that refuse to open are not withholding blessings. They're protecting destiny. God knows what's ahead, and sometimes He has to block access to good things so you won't miss the God thing. You may not understand it now, but the no that hurt you today will soon make sense as the yes that saved you tomorrow. Chosen one, you've been faithful. You've served in silence while others were celebrated. You've stayed consistent when no one saw your effort. No one applauded your progress, and no one understood your assignment. Yet heaven took note of every sacrifice, every prayer you whispered in exhaustion, every tear you cried in secret. None of it was wasted. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. The shaking in your life is not destruction. It's divine rearrangement. God is shifting you from where you've been effective to where you'll be exceptional. The space that once sustained you has reached its limit, and now heaven is moving you into a territory that matches your new spiritual capacity. Sometimes the collapse of a plan is not a failure of faith, it's evidence of God's hand at work. He's closing certain chapters to make room for the next assignment. You see endings. God sees expansion. You see delay. God sees development. Every no you've encountered was heaven whispering, "Not here, not yet. I have something better prepared." That relationship that ended, that job that didn't work out, that opportunity that slipped through your fingers, none of them were rejections. They were redirections. God was protecting you from places that couldn't hold your calling. Remember this, when you are truly chosen, your steps are not random. They are ordered. Even when you stumble, the path is still divine. The detours are part of the design. Sometimes God has to let the map fall apart, so you'll stop navigating by sight and start walking by faith. You may have wondered why your name wasn't called when others were being promoted, why your breakthrough took longer than theirs. But God was building something stronger in you: character, endurance, and trust. You've been in the hidden workshop of heaven, and now that the foundation is complete, He's about to lift you into visibility. The location that once fed you is no longer where your next miracle resides. When one source ends, it's not a sign of scarcity, it's a signal of relocation. The manna from one season must cease so that the harvest of the next can begin. And when God moves you, He doesn't consult qualifications. He consults destiny. This next elevation will not come because of your resume, your status, or your connections. It will come because heaven has decreed your name. Chapter 3. The shift you feel is spiritual before it's physical. Chosen one, before God moves you physically, He moves you spiritually. That's why lately you've been feeling disconnected from the old, not because you've changed for the worse, but because you've evolved beyond it. The friendships that once felt fulfilling now feel draining. The conversations that once inspired you now seem shallow. The habits that once comforted you now feel misaligned. It's not confusion, it's calibration. God is fine-tuning your spirit to match your next dimension. He's upgrading your internal frequency so that when the physical shift comes, you'll already be aligned with it. You might be wondering why your spirit feels restless, even though nothing in your environment has changed. That's because your inner world is ahead of your outer world. Heaven always updates your spirit before it updates your situation. You're not losing interest in people. You're gaining intimacy with purpose. The crowd that once celebrated you can no longer comprehend you. That's not isolation, that's elevation. When God starts revealing deeper layers of who you are, not everyone around you will have the capacity to see it. Your spirit begins to crave solitude, silence and sacred spaces, because that's where new instructions are downloaded. Chosen one, your sensitivity has increased for a reason. The same jokes don't make you laugh. The same environments don't give you peace. The same distractions now make you uneasy. You are outgrowing vibrations that can't carry your next assignment. When your spirit ascends, your tolerance for low-frequency energy declines. Understand this. Divine relocation always begins with spiritual displacement. Before God brings you into a new land, He removes your attachment to the old one. You might feel a strange emptiness, like something's ending. But that emptiness is not loss, it's making room. Heaven clears emotional and spiritual space before pouring out new blessings. You may look around and think nothing's changing, but inside everything is. Your thought patterns are being rewired. Your desires are being purified. Your discernment is being sharpened. You're starting to crave peace more than attention, alignment more than applause, and purpose more than comfort. That's how you know the shift is divine. Sometimes God will cause discomfort in environments that once brought joy. It's not punishment, it's preparation. He's teaching you to move when your spirit moves, not when your circumstances confirm it. Your obedience is being trained to respond to the unseen. You might notice that people are starting to misunderstand you or drift away. Don't chase them, release them. Some were assigned to your past version, not your present purpose. The conversations you no longer fit into, the circles you've outgrown, the habits that no longer align, they're all signs that your spirit has stepped into a new realm. By the time your physical relocation happens, your inner world will already be in position. Chapter 4. Divine favor is about to locate you. Chosen one. Divine favor is about to locate you, not by effort but by divine orchestration. You've entered a season where heaven is recalibrating the coordinates of your destiny. Every prayer, every tear, and every silent act of obedience has become a signal sent into the heavens. And now that signal has been received, God is sending favor toward you like a spiritual GPS, locked onto your location with divine precision. It won't lose signal, it won't get delayed, and it won't miss you. You've been walking in faith while others walked in visibility. You've been consistent while unseen, steadfast while misunderstood, faithful while forgotten. But now the script is flipping. The same places where you were once ignored will soon echo your name. The same environments that couldn't recognize your worth will have to witness your rise. God is not just changing your location, He's changing your recognition. Remember Joseph, one day forgotten in a prison, the next day summoned to a palace. That's what divine favor does. It accelerates what human effort can't accomplish. Favor doesn't follow logic, it follows alignment. You've aligned your heart with heaven, and now heaven is aligning circumstances with your purpose. Chosen one, this next wave of favor will not come through striving, but through being positioned in spirit. You won't have to manipulate or compete, you'll just flow. Opportunities will start to chase you down. not because you're lucky, but because you're chosen. Someone will feel led to mention your name in a room you've never entered. Someone will feel an unexplainable pull to bless you, promote you, or recommend you, and they won't even know why, but you will. It's divine favor tracking you down. This favor breaks the laws of limitation. It overrides timelines, qualifications, and opinions. What was supposed to take 10 years will happen in 1. What others fought for, you'll receive by grace. Because when divine favor locates you, it doesn't ask for permission, it brings performance. Every no you faced was never rejection. It was redirection toward the yes that truly matters. God was not denying you. He was preparing the right door, so that when it opened, it would never close again. Divine favor doesn't just give you access, it gives you authority. It places you in positions where your presence carries impact beyond your credentials. Chosen one, you've been faithful in obscurity. You've sown seeds in seasons of silence. You've obeyed when no one was watching. Now heaven is saying, it's your time. God is about to honor you publicly for what you endured privately. The doors you once knocked on are about to swing open without you touching them. This favor won't just elevate you, it will also vindicate you. Those who doubted you will see that it was never about human connections. It was always about divine selection. Every misunderstanding, every betrayal, every delay was just a setup for visibility. And when this favor finds you, it will multiply. The same grace that lifts you will begin to overflow into the lives of others connected to you. You'll become a distributor of blessings, a vessel of divine generosity. That's why God has been purifying your motives, so that when favor finds you, it won't destroy you. It will expand you. Chapter 5. The tables are turning in your favor. Chosen one, this is your season of reversal. Heaven has issued a divine command. The tables are turning in your favor. Not gradually, not eventually, but suddenly. The same way Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister overnight, your turnaround will be swift and undeniable. Everything that once seemed to be against you is now working for you. The same pressure that tried to break you is the power now propelling you. Those who once dismissed you will soon have to discuss you. People who once doubted your purpose will have no choice but to recognize your divine elevation. The energy surrounding your life is shifting, from rejection to recognition, from hidden to highlighted, from forgotten to favored. For a long time, you walked through seasons when nothing seemed to move. You prayed, fasted, and remained faithful, yet doors stayed closed. But what you didn't know was that God was building your foundation in silence, because what's built in private cannot be destroyed in public. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Every unanswered prayer was a setup for a divine reversal. Now everything that was delayed is being delivered. What was withheld is being released. What was stolen is being restored. God is not only giving you back what you lost, He's multiplying it. This is why He needed you to endure the waiting season with grace. He was perfecting your heart so that when your breakthrough came, you'd have the humility to carry it and the wisdom to sustain it. Chosen one, the divine reversal is already in motion. The same people who overlooked you will begin to see the glow of favor resting on your life. The same environments that rejected you will now request your presence. Your name is being mentioned in rooms that once shut you out. Your voice, once silenced, will now be sought after. This is what happens when heaven decides it's time. Human resistance can't stop it, and no opposition can delay it. The Lord is saying, you've passed the test. Now I will make your name known. The season of hiddenness was necessary, but it's over. The world is about to see the strength that was forged in your solitude. Every tear, every betrayal, every lonely night was a seed, and now the harvest is ready. You'll begin to notice divine patterns, unexpected favor, sudden breakthroughs, apologies that arrive out of nowhere, opportunities that appear at just the right moment. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. The energy around you is reversing because heaven has shifted your position. You're no longer at the table begging for crumbs. You're now the one being invited to sit at the head. And when God turns the tables, He does it so completely that even your enemies will have to acknowledge His hand on your life. You won't have to seek revenge or prove your worth. God Himself will display your vindication. The same people who whispered about your downfall will have to witness your rise. The very place that broke you will become the platform that blesses you. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season of divine justice. The scales are being balanced. The years the locusts ate are being restored. What was meant to bury you has become the soil from which you're blooming. Chapter 6. Your relocation will reveal your realm. Chosen one, the place God is taking you to will not just fit you, it will recognize you. Every season of your life has been preparing you for a location that mirrors your growth, your anointing and your divine assignment. You've been feeling that quiet pull that says, this place no longer feels like home. That's not dissatisfaction, that's discernment. Heaven is signaling that your current environment no longer matches your evolution. You've outgrown certain rooms, not out of pride, but because your spirit has expanded beyond the limits of that space. The version of you that once blended in no longer exists. God has matured you, refined your voice and strengthened your authority. And now your current surrounding. This relocation isn't just geographical, it's dimensional. You're being moved from surviving to thriving, from striving to flowing. In your old space, your light exposed things others wanted hidden. That's why they resisted you. But in your next realm, your light will be welcomed, not feared. You're being positioned among those who see your fire and fan it. Every divine relocation reveals a new revelation. Just as Abraham, Joseph, and even Jesus had to move before their purpose unfolded, the same pattern is unfolding in your life. God is upgrading your environment to match your anointing. That's why doors have closed, relationships faded, and familiar places feel foreign. The old ground can't sustain the weight of your new assignment. Don't fear this transition. The uncertainty you feel is simply the space between comfort and calling. When the time comes, your move will happen suddenly but smoothly. Doors will open effortlessly, help will appear supernaturally, and your peace will confirm your placement. When you arrive, you'll feel it instantly. The air will be lighter, your ideas clearer, and your spirit at rest. That's how you'll know you're finally standing in the realm designed for you. And when you get there, you'll realize every delay was direction. Every no was divine navigation. God was never punishing you, He was positioning you. You'll look back and see that what felt like isolation was actually incubation. The version of you that emerges in this new realm will carry a power, peace, and presence that no environment can silence. Chosen one, your isolation was never rejection. It was relocation in disguise. God's divine setup to position you where your purpose can finally breathe. The next place will reveal the real you. Chapter 7. Your new season has already begun. Chosen one, this isn't something that's coming one day. It's already unfolding before your eyes. You may not fully see it yet, but you can feel it. The air around you has changed. The atmosphere carries a quiet excitement, a divine anticipation. Every strange shift in your emotions, every change in your surroundings, every sudden ending that didn't make sense, they're not random. They're confirmation that divine relocation is already in motion. You've been sensing it in your spirit, that inner stirring, that restlessness that refuses to let you settle. It's not anxiety, it's activation. Heaven has already flipped the page, and you're standing at the beginning of a brand new chapter. The reason the old places don't feel the same is because grace has lifted from them. What once worked no longer flows, not because you failed, but because your assignment there is complete. Don't resist what's happening. Flow with it. Trust the movement even when the direction is unclear. God is not waiting for your comfort. He's waiting for your obedience. You're being led through divine transitions that your logic can't explain but your spirit can recognize. The same God who ordered your steps into the storm is now leading you out of it, not by chance but by divine command. This relocation will not only change your location, it will upgrade your vibration. You're stepping into an atmosphere that matches your new level of favor. The conversations will be different, the opportunities will align effortlessly, and the peace will be undeniable. You will no longer have to shrink to fit in. Instead, you will expand naturally. What once drained you will no longer have access to your energy. Yes, this new season may require you to leave behind comfort zones, familiar faces, and predictable patterns. But don't see it as loss, it's liberation. Some people were only assigned to your old chapter. Don't bring old characters into a new storyline. What's ahead will make every goodbye, every silent tear, and every lonely night worth it. You're not being punished. You're being promoted. The tables have already begun to turn. Doors that once stayed shut are cracking open. People who dismissed you will start to recognize your value. Opportunities that felt delayed are now aligning in perfect timing. This time the favor is on your side, not by accident but by divine arrangement.